Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Tonight's date is October 9th, 2024. It is a Wednesday. I hope everyone's week has been going well. I know folks down in Florida are in for quite a storm. Quite a storm. Got another one coming in. We'd already had the storm hit the East Coast. Caused a lot of damage, a lot of lives lost, a lot of property. Prayers go out to the victims and those affected. We're waiting for folks to join on in. I don't know where they are. Our usuals have not jumped in. Let's go to analytics. See here. Well, somebody's watching, and they ain't jumping in. We got somebody. We got Lisa Goodman. She tried to join the Zoom room just as the show was streaming live, which is rather suspicious. It streams 5 minutes before the show goes live. Well, before my camera comes on. So I have no idea. Let's go ahead and find out. Let's admit Lisa in and see what the hell's going on here. Well, that does not look like a Lisa to me. That looks like somebody has a face of an emoji, or not emoji, face of an emoji. That's a dude's head. That's a dude's face. Your mic is hell. Oh, here we go. I had my volume down. Go ahead and say one more time what you were saying. I had my volume turned down.
Huh?
Hello?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Do you know that you're on the show?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yep, that's right. That's correct. Yes. So I'm gonna be here and start to join. Like.
Yeah. Bye. And that was that. We haven't had a reject like that try to jump on the show in quite some time. So now we sit and we wait. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Everybody. Well, you know, Laurel's usually there, and Gus and everybody else. It's a Wednesday, so everybody should be up and ready for the show. But I've got nobody. I've got nobody. Tonight's coffee is Blueberry Muffin from Dunkin' Donuts brand. It's good. It is good. It is good. Well, I don't know. I don't know how I should start the show when nobody's here. I don't like talking to air. Now, I used to do a podcast, and it was all pre-recorded, and I talked to air, and that was fine. But the show was live. I kind of like to have another individual that I'm speaking directly to. Now, I see that we got at least somebody out there. Hey. Say hello. Let us know you're there. Let us know. Because I don't like having to repeat myself for people that are joining the show, not get the information that I started out with. So we're waiting for them to jump on in. Hey, that wasn't supposed to happen. You close. There you go. That's what I was doing. We've had over 1,000 new followers on my Facebook page since Sunday morning. Of course, that causes a little bit of growing pains, and new folks don't understand how I run my show or how I run my page. I don't put up with shenanigans that you find out there. I do not have a Facebook page so that everybody can just jump on and say whatever the hell they want and have a free-for-all. That's not how I do it. My Facebook page is for my content, and I allow conversations, and that's fine, just like normal, but it's not a free-for-all. Some people don't like that. Like, there's some things, no, I'm not going to talk about that on my page. Don't do it. Oh, my goodness, how dare the Cowboy censor people? It's my page. It's like, you can't go to like a Corvette forum and just start talking about Mustangs and Ford F-150s and stuff like that. They're probably going to go, no, that's inappropriate content for this particular venue. Well, it's similar to mine, except for there's certain issues that I do not like on my page, such as defeatist attitudes. I don't mind if you say there was rampant cheating, and there's going to be rampant cheating in this election, but don't say it's fixed, because fixed means that there's nothing you can do about it. I don't believe it's fixed. And the problem with allowing hornswoggle like that on my page is once somebody says it, somebody else says it, somebody else says it, and then I'm fighting a narrative that's complete hogwash. Hey, Laurel, welcome to the show. She says, howdy, had to get the grandson to bed. Looks and sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. You're the only one in right now. We had somebody join the Zoom chat. It's some kid, I guess. Had a woman's name, had an old man's head, and sounded like a 12 to 14-year-old boy. It's like, yeah, not having that. Hope your grandson is doing good. Doing good. Getting some sleep. I'm not getting sleep. I slept okay last night. Got to bed early and turned the TV off early. I was able to actually get some sleep. I don't know. I'm still tired now, though. I was saying before you jumped in that over 1,000 followers since Sunday morning. That's a lot and a big jump. So of course we're going to get the folks that just they don't get the system. They don't understand that my page is not like every other page out there. Like I posted up, if I say stop talking about something, Laurel says I saw that on Facebook. Awesome. Yes, it is. Thank you. So if I say stop, we've gone around a couple times, and I say stop, it means stop. Doesn't mean keep coming back. Doesn't mean trying to come over the top of me and try to still convince me that you're right. No, it means stop. It's done. You've said your say. I said my say. It's done. I'm not going to have the perpetual going back and forth, and I don't care how much of a dedicated and enthusiastic follower you are. No, I hold that standard to everybody. I'll let you say your say. If I disagree with you, I'll disagree with you. That's it. You said your say, I said my say. You come back again, I'll go, got it, still disagree, stop. You want to keep coming over the top of me? That's a good way to get shown the door. It's like somebody else's house. See, people, this common etiquette, a lot of the people out there, they just don't get it. It's like coming into somebody's house. If I came into your house and we're sitting down at your dinner table and we're talking about something and you say something I disagree and I'll go, you know, I disagree. And they can keep, okay, that's fine. And then they want to argue the point, it's going to be fine. It's like, okay, I'll yield to you, whatever. I'm not saying you're right, but I yield to you. It's your house. Have a nice day. If I have a real problem with what you're saying, I'll get myself up and I'll walk to the door, wish you a good day, and carry on with life. If you're in my house and we're having a disagreement, I expect you to yield in my house. Well, my Facebook page is my house. Or as I called it the other day, it's my garden. I got to weed in my garden. And my content and my opinions are my fruit. Now, you can like my fruit and you can partake of my fruit, and that's great. But you can't shit on my fruit. And don't be a weed. And the thing is the more you allow people to act like that, it just multiplies. And then you got a problem on your hand. Now, I have been busy since Sunday, keeping up. And folks know me. I try to interact with the people that comment, more so if they mention me by name. But I look through and I moderate and I make sure that everything's above board. That's why those who follow my content over a long period of time do so, because it doesn't have the crap that you have on the other pages. Doesn't mean people can't disagree with me, by all means, but you better have a rational argument for it, and be expected for me to reply back. And then we call it a day. It's that simple. Then everybody can read what was up there and they can make up their own mind. But it doesn't do any good going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Hey, I've been at this day a minute or so. Or this day. Did I say I was tired? I've been at this game for about a minute or so. Look, I used to moderate several very large forums online. Yeah, that was before the Facebook days. Forums, yeah, I remember those things. And it was the same thing. You moderate it. Yeah, you let as much go as you can, but then when it gets disruptive and it just becomes counterproductive, you put an end to it. It's like, we're not having this. Somebody had posted up, it was a new follower, and he's like, hey, I see you defend a lot of stuff and you make a lot of posts defending what you do and stuff like that. I don't see that on pages that go viral. I see, I can see posts going viral, but I don't see that on pages going viral. Well, what he's not understanding is pages only go viral if posts consistently go viral. And for that to happen, you need to have a lot of posts, and you need to get, every once in a while, a post will hit. And that'll go viral. And then other people see your other posts. So I need content. So I post up my articles, and I post up my views on things. I post up my memes. I post up, just blurbs. And I also post up refutations to people's shenanigans out there. Why? Because those who follow my content tend to like it. They like seeing other people be idiots. So I go, here you go. And then the new people who happen to see that, they go, hey, this is how John is. Now you can either like that or not like that. You can stay or not stay. That's up to you. I'd rather have slow growth and have a good page where those who come to see my content, they come to see my content. Because I'll tell you what, while the comment section does have conversations, and a lot of times they're very good ones, people don't come to see the show. They don't come to see Bob and Jill, Janet and Ralph fling shit all over the place that happens on all the other pages out there. That's not why they come to my page. They come to my page to be amongst folks of like mind, to have logical, rational, and civil conversations, and yes, sometimes discourse. It's that simple. And if that means that my page is going to grow slow, fine. They're still not letting my shit get seen. Had a feller. I'll go ahead and read what he wrote. He was none too happy. And I'll tell you why he this is what I wrote. I said, this post is not saying that the election is rigged. This post is not saying that there is nothing we can do If you think either of those, please keep that view to yourself. It is defeatist, and I won't have it. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory there. Pretty self-explanatory there. Let's try to hear. I think it should be near the newest. Now, he writes, Glenn from Canada, by the way. How you doing, Glenn? Glenn writes, there is plenty of evidence of cheating, and that you would censor those views get you an unfollow. Bye-bye, Cowboy. I'm not censoring views on cheating. Anybody who's followed my content knows I've pointed out that I believe the last election was rife with cheating, and there's problems and we need to take care of them. No. So my response back to him was, I never said there was no cheating. In fact, I often say the complete opposite. And I also say we must do all we can to combat that. But that is far from saying it is rigged. Which means there is nothing you can do to prevent or make a given outcome. So your assertion is simply a straw man. That said, by all means, if you don't like how I run my page, you are more than free to not follow it or even comment on it. But I find it comical that you felt the need to announce your departure. There's no need for that unless you want folks to see you. Well, we see you. Cheers. And I added, on a separate note, you might want to look into a reading comprehension course. Because I never said, don't you dare even insinuate that there was cheating. I never said that. I said, if you think, hey, Peggy, welcome to the show. If you think that the election is rigged and they're just going to install somebody, I don't want to hear it on my page. Because that's defeatist. That means you might as well stay home. There's nothing you can do. I'm not having that hornswoggle. And it pops up from time to time, and I don't like it. It's wrong. It wasn't even close. And the whole thing about my post didn't even suggest for a minute that I didn't think that the Democrats were going to try to cheat. I just insinuated that they thought that there's no way they could lose. And there's a difference between them thinking that there's no way that they could lose and by default, the election being rigged. They're two different things. Yes, if it's rigged, they would think that they couldn't lose, but it's not by default the same thing. So there are certain things. I don't allow blatantly anti-Semitic things on my page. I don't allow racist stuff on my page. I don't allow defeatism on my page. Well, there's a bunch of things, and they're all common sense things. And I also know that there's certain things I don't allow conspiracy theorists on my page either. Because that's not what my page is for. And when you start allowing that crap, then you're constantly trying to keep up with it, and it's hogwash. That doesn't mean there isn't problems, but we've discussed every one of the conspiracy theories out there. We've discussed one way or another. Coincidence and people marching in the same direction does not mean conspiracy by itself. Do you know how hard it is to keep a group of people from everybody not telling you? Somebody's got a big mouth. People got big mouths. There's no way. And the bigger the conspiracy is, the more mouths there is. It's impossible. Now, people can work together because they have common goals and ends. They can grift off of each other and they can surf off of each other's momentum. That's not a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theories is they all get together in a back room someplace and they're trading notes and it's like, yeah, it's not working like that. But I posted up a whole crap load of content today. And I got about 20 bits, articles and all sorts of goodies. But yeah, if you don't like my content, I don't care. You don't like me, leave. You don't need to announce it to anybody. And I'm sorry. Since he said, I'm departing, I'm unfollowing you. Yeah, because I censor people for something that I didn't even say. But whatever, okay. Dude, there's been over 5 people that have started following me since you left. And that was just an hour ago. Or 2 or something. I don't know. A bit. See if I can get my notes here. I wrote them down. Laurel says, I look at it as the trash taking itself out. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a sociopath. I care if people don't like me. But look, hey, I didn't force you to follow me. I'm not going to force you to stay. You all know my philosophy. I'd rather not have you in my life if what you're going to bring to my life is just problems. I'd just rather not have you there. My goodness, where the heck is... was my announcement? That's the weeds from yesterday. Okay, that must have been from yesterday. This is 12 hours ago. Oh, there it is. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. The fix is in. I've discussed that. The fix is in. Stop it. The truth about early voting. Let me get this underway. We only got a couple of people watching, but people might want to watch it later. Let me get this. I got a little white fuzzy. It's annoying me. Early voting. There's a bunch of people on the right that are promoting early voting because they're like, no, you need to get in there. The same way with, I'll talk about that, about mail-in voting and absentee as well. Well, we'll start with early voting, and there's going to be carryover. You got to get in there and vote early, just in case they're going to try to make sure that the people can't vote, and there might be problems. Yeah, okay. Was there last time around? People go, yeah, heard about it. Yeah, you heard about something that the amount of places could probably fit on one hand. You know how big this fucking country is? What they did is they found the places that had problems. Yes, and I'm not minimizing the problems. The problems are bad. Shouldn't have happened. And then wanted to extrapolate that for the nation. The vast majority of people didn't have any problem voting. So I say, when you went to vote last year and the time before that, did you ever have a problem voting? Was there a problem getting in? Did you have any issues with time? Did you have any issues with the voting process itself? No? Why are you voting early? Well, because some talking head said that you need to vote early because that's going to take care of problems. Was there a problem? So that's what I say. If you were in an area where the last time around there were problems and that people couldn't get their vote in on time for one reason or another, you might want to consider voting early. Okay. That's not the vast majority of people in the country. So this whole idea to get people to go vote early, that's stupid. Hey, Judy, welcome to the show. You're trying to take care of a problem that doesn't exist. Didn't exist for you. Probably won't exist for you this time. Oh, but it's better safe than sorry. Okay, we'll play that game. As soon as they have your vote, they have your vote. The longer they have your vote, the more time for that vote to get fucked up, discarded, or whatever. So you want to go in a week early, 2 weeks early, a month early, give them your vote, and it's just going to be sitting someplace? Doesn't seem too smart to me. With all of the issues with security and chain of custody problems with the last vote, with the last election, you think that the solution, when you didn't have a problem to begin with last time, you probably won't this time, you didn't have the time before that, is to go ahead and add another wrinkle into the mess, another chance for problems to go wrong? Laurel says I only vote in person on election day. That's the way it should be, unless you got a damn good reason for it. The way it used to be. The way it used to be. I'm not going to go over the reasons. We all know the reasons. But opening it up to everybody because of Rovid and all that other crap, no. That was a way to get shenanigans mixed in there. And it needs to be ironed back out. Here's and I posted up, the only thing that I am me personally, willing to actually endorse is, okay, let's say because we're a bigger nation and we got more people or whatever, 1 day isn't enough. Okay, 2 days. 2 consecutive days. There's 2 days. There's no reason that somebody cannot get their ass in to vote one of those 2 days. And if you miss it, that's on you. That's on you. See, it used to be you had to do something. You had to make an effort. No, you can't do it now. No. Which brings us back into absentee ballots. The left used a shit ton of absentee ballots. So what'd the right do? The right goes, we need to use that method as well because it helped so many. Laurel says, how the hell can India... Yeah, on the same day. Yeah. Go figure. And don't they even do you got to put ink? A lot of those countries, and I think it was India too, you had to put ink on your finger to show that you voted. You had to prove who you were, and then you got ink on your finger. Peggy said, I'm always embarrassed by the people my age who blindly follow the panic thinking going on the last few years. They're old enough to... Yeah, and like I said, and I tried to explain this, for some people, early voting may be an option. It may be a solution to a problem that they may have. The vast majority of people, it's not. It just adds more wrinkles to it. There we go. And like I said, here we go, absentee ballots. So the right goes, hey, the left was able to farm all that stuff in and gather the ballots and put it in and help them out. Yeah. Do you think that's going to work for the right? They say it's going to. Yeah. If it worked for the left, it'll work for the right. We'll be able to increase our vote count meaningfully. No, you won't. No, you won't. Because the folks on the right are already getting their ass out of bed and going and voting. You're not going to get that many more votes that you wouldn't have got if they got up out of bed and went to vote. It's the left. It was the lazy. They went into housing areas, senior homes, in urban areas where they knew there was a bunch of lackadaisical, lazy people that if they weren't being spoon-fed, they wouldn't vote. And they got their ballots. That's not going to work on the right because the demographic, they're different. If the right went in there doing the same thing the left did, their votes would not increase in any meaningful way because those people that they did that, they would have gotten their ass to the polling booth in the first place. It's faulty logic. Again, I don't care if people do something, but make sure it makes sense. Know why you're doing it. Well, why are you doing it? Well, because it worked for the left. Different demographics. Not going to work for the right. That doesn't mean don't do it. Oh, by all means, go ahead and do it. You're going to find out it's not going to give you the results that you think it did because the people who you're gathering the ballots from, they're the type that would go and vote anyways. It's not the case with the left. That's what I say about superficial examinations of issues. They don't think them through. Like I said, with early voting. Yeah. Oh, think it through. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It only makes sense for a few. And some guy said, well, I'm voting early because I've got to be out of state. And the last time I did that, I didn't get my ballot. It's like, good, then you're the exception. There are people that would qualify. It would make sense that they vote early. I get it. But let me tell you, in the past, it was tough luck. Everybody knew this is the voting time. If you aren't in the area and you can't vote, you can't vote. Unless, of course, you are out of state or out of country by virtue of the business of the nation. That's pretty much it. Other than that, you make your choice. You made your choice. Sorry. Old folks and look, most of them don't even understand the politics. Who's monitoring whether their vote is correct or not? See, all that shit needs to stop. There's always going to be a section of the population that won't be able to get to the polling booths. It's just the way it is. We need to get IDs and proof of citizenship to vote as well. Anybody that opposes that in 2024 simply wants rampant illegal voting. I'm sorry. In 2024, if you cannot prove you're a citizen of the United States, this isn't 1900. This isn't 1885. This isn't even 1950, for crying out loud, where you might have some really old fuckers that were born before they kept records. This is 2024. There is absolutely no excuse why somebody cannot prove their citizenship in 2024. And if by chance they're one of those anomalies, I'm sorry, I'll take that lack of vote for the protection and integrity of the election itself. Sorry. Again, people just, again, that's why there's certain things that I don't allow on my page, because people don't think. And then I'm having to stomp it out like little fires everywhere. Holy shit, I just explained this. No, you're wrong. The problem is when somebody says something and other people have that bias or notion in their head, they take it as confirmation and they run with it as well. I don't want the wrong things exploding on my page. Doesn't help anybody. So I put a stop to it. Folks don't like it, don't follow my content. If you're that upset about then I go, why are you following my content? Are you following my content because you want to hear what I have to say? And I don't care. Look, you don't want to, if you don't care what I have to say, I don't have a problem with that. Got no problem with it. But why are you following my content? If you disagree with everything that I say or important things or whatever, or you're not thinking critically. I've had people all the time. Yeah, I thought X for a while, and I didn't examine it fully. And there's things that you said over here. And it's like, oh shit, I'm not sure whether I'm on board with what you're saying, but it's making me think about what I was thinking. Hey, we're halfway there. We're halfway there. Critical thinking. It's lost art. And yes, it happens on the right just as much as the left. They just, but somebody, Dan Bongino said this. I don't care what Dan Bongino said. I'm not Dan Bongino. I don't always agree with everything Dan Bongino says. So-and-so said this. Yeah, they said that, yeah, I get it. Somebody else said that, I think Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson said this and this and this. It's like, yeah, go ahead and trust everything comes out of a politician's mouth, too, even on your side. You got to, I've got no, the only skin in the game and dog in the fight that I have is truth. That's it. I don't benefit one way or the other. Politicians do. So, yes, listen to what they say, but take it with a grain of salt. Think things through. People, they don't like to think. They don't like to think. It's whatever's handed to them. Oh, that's, our guy said it. Yeah, it must be true. Yeah, well, no, not so much. And all these other people, they don't care if they're found. Oh, well, they found out that later that it was all hornswoggle. Yeah, and they don't care. I care. You will find nobody else, guaranteed. You will find nobody else out there that cares about truth and their reputation as I do. Because I have fought, scrimped, and scraped for every follower. Okay, so I did the early voting, absentee voting. Follower increase. Yeah, I talked about that too. Harris Wall's propaganda tour. Oh my goodness. They're just, that's all it is. This election cycle has ripped the mask off of the propaganda machine, and they're all campaigning for her. They're campaigning for her. It's so bad that she does interviews. She did interviews with an actual news agency. aside from their hitting all of the talk shows and shit like that. Actual news agency, and they edited her comments, presented two different ways, and other times she starts to talk, but then they say what she's going to say. You people are carrying all the water. Carrying all the water. Ooh, hot. Again, blueberry muffin from Dunkin' Donuts. Blueberry muffin. Yeah, Donna, I'm drinking my berry coffee. As folks know, I drink more coffee than I do whiskey. I likes my coffee. I do. Laurel says when Kamala's teleprompter failed, she literally froze and went stupid. Yeah, that's what she can't talk. She cannot talk extemporaneously. She searches. And they're asking the same questions. By now, she should have memorized the answers. Peggy says, I tend to take everyone's opinion with a grain of salt, but I watched the last election results till 3 a.m. and saw the votes deleted from Jorgensen and Trump and still question what I saw. Yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans. A lot of shenanigans. Yeah. It is what it is. And there's so many on the right, they're capitulating. Ben Shapiro, he's like, oh, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't stolen. It was, and then it was, the media was backing them, and then you couldn't get the right information out. And yeah, there was some anomalies, and it's like, then stop it. Stop it. You can't prove to me within reason that the reason that Biden was installed wasn't because of a mass amount of shenanigans across the board. Now, I'm not saying they were all working together. Some people say, oh, it's a big, and they're working. No, it's a shit ton of people doing a shit ton of other stuff. It's not all centrally coordinated. But yeah, that was massive, massive cheating. I'm not even going to say, oh, it was fixed. No, I still don't believe. There's no way that you can rig it. There's too many people would have to be involved to actually be able to rig an election. Now, that said, like I was talking to the missus tonight, I used to think when I was young and naive. Remember hearing this phrase? Here's Gus says, okay, I was not hiding in the wings. I just came in. Hey, welcome to the show, Gus. Remember this? Anybody can become president. Remember that line? I used to believe that when I was young and naive. Anybody can be president. No. No, you can't. No, you can't. Trump is an anomaly. Trump was a fuck you vote. That's what Trump was. If anybody but Trump couldn't have done what Trump did, Trump was a fuck you vote for the nation. But you look back and just keep going back and look who made it to the presidency. It wasn't that the election was rigged, but look at the candidates who actually made it to the ticket. That's where the real staging takes place. The Democrats blew the cover off of that this time. But as I pointed out, too, they didn't do anything illegal. Everything they did was legal. But, like I said, if you think that just anybody out of the blue can just rise up and be president, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. Wish it did, but it doesn't. There's a machine you got to work in. And the machine isn't just one head. It's got a bunch of gears in it. And sometimes they play dirty. The Democrats have played damn dirty. There's one thing if if you go and you pick a good candidate that you can run and it's going to get popular support. That's the smart way to do it. That's the way it used to be done. In the last few cycles, it's like we're just going to pick whoever that we want, and anybody. Look, I don't like Bernie Sanders, but Bernie Sanders was kicking the shit out of Hillary Clinton in the primaries before they booted him out of the process. And I don't like Bernie Sanders. He's not a Democrat. He's a socialist. Peggy says, we all did until an unknown biracial kid got elected. Yeah, Obama was a good... Yeah, but he wasn't the only one. See, normally it's done a little bit sneakier. They groom them up. But pow, he just came out of the blue. That's the same way he got to be a senator, out of the blue. What's his senatorial record? None. He was in there for what, year and a half? And that was it. Boom, now he's going to run for president. Who is this guy? He was picked. But here you go. Here's another one. Tulsi Gabbard. She would have been the threat. Holy shit. You wouldn't even need, I'll be honest about it, you would not need any shenanigans whatsoever in this country to realistically think that Tulsi Gabbard, head-to-head against Donald Trump, could win. She was the one I was worried about. Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, shit. Articulate. Relatively sensible about things. Attractive. You know, she ticked all sorts of boxes. JD says, have you seen the videos of the military-style halos sabotaging relief staging sites? Oh, helos, not halos. I've seen pictures of airports overridden with helicopters not doing a damn thing. I've seen that. It's a mess. Let's talk about FEMA for half a second, okay? The meeting has ended after 40 minutes of idle time. No, I don't think so. I've got the I have the business. I can run it 24 hours a day if I want to run it. The heck you doing? Okay, let me get this there we go. I'll change my settings in a second. Okay, FEMA. Now FEMA is an evil snake. FEMA's had a few names since its inception. FEMA was an organization that was developed back in World War II, just after World War II. And it was designed to deal with a nuclear war. And what they would do is they said, oh, we figure that we can get 80% of the population saved if there was nuclear war. Yeah, you can't. Excuse me, but then you find out what it really is 80%. It's the people they thought were the good people, you know. So if you were elderly, you wouldn't be saved. If you were crippled, you wouldn't be saved. If you're mentally deficient, you wouldn't be saved. It's basically eugenics done via nuclear war. But then it's morphed and it kept going. That's why they keep FEMA, and what we know is FEMA, keep shifting what agency and what part of the government it's under and they're under control of, because it's not meant to do what it's doing. But that said, FEMA's federal. And I get pretty damn tired of the American people thinking, oh, a hurricane hit, so the first fucking people there are the federal government. Nah, no, it's not. No, it's not. Oh, FEMA didn't show up for 5 days. I think 5 days is a little excessive given the situation. But 3 days? Yeah. 3 days is fine. How can you say that? They're federal. When a disaster goes through, you've got your local people JD says never is the first. Right, and you don't want it to be the first. It's the last. Local is first. State comes in after. Then FEMA comes in. Then the federal government comes in. You don't want the federal government jumping in every time that there's an emergency. They're the first people there. Doesn't work like that, nor should it work like that. So the people complaining that they weren't there and Johnny on the spot, that's not what they're supposed to be. However, like I said, within 3 days, as long as the need is great enough, yeah, they should be rolling. But the thing is, they're not even set up to be efficient. They're not. Now let's talk about funding. There's another misnomer out there. And I don't like how the left is playing it, and I don't like the way the right is playing it. FEMA they've been giving immigrants X amount of money, and that should have went to the hurricane victims. And I go, well, sounds logical, except people are forgetting something, or they don't know something. They're two separate accounts. That's like if you have in your household, let's say you have several bank accounts. One is for food, one is for utilities, one is for fun. That's how FEMA's set up. And Congress authorizes so much funding per account. So you can go, oh, well, money's fungible. They can move it. Yes, but then they have to reapprove the money change. Peggy says Hurricane Milton just made landfall in Florida, and I'm worried for friends and family there. Well, I hope they got out. They've been warned. You know, there's some people they were sticking around. They've been warned. Get out. JD says, but in a crisis, you move funds. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. And there's a way to do it in government which makes sense, and it takes time and you have to get approval. They should have instantly went to Congress and say, change the approval of the funds. That's what they should do. But they can't. FEMA can't just do it on their own. So this isn't even. Did you hear the politicians? Did you hear the congressmen just go, "Hey, we need to get these funds sorted out"? Did you hear that? I didn't hear that. I just heard everybody yelling at. You heard it. You heard the congressman saying we need to reappropriate these funds. Because I didn't. All I heard is people yelling at FEMA. And then, of course, Kamala Harris, she's tone deaf. Yeah, we're sending all this money over to Lebanon for this, like, wrong time to say it. Look, I'm a realist. Yeah, I'm sure it's going there. Shouldn't go there, but you definitely don't say it. At this time right now, you do not say it. There's shit you don't say because it's tone deaf. JD, is this the first time on the show? I don't remember the name. JD. DJ. JD. That's Jack Daniels. DJ. What's that picture? It looks like a stormtrooper head or something. I don't know. It's really small. It's a little teeny thing on my screen. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going around, and you don't want FEMA to be the first in there. But here's my biggest problem is now they're slowing shit down. They're getting in the way. Never stop people from helping each other out. Never. I don't care what the hell they're doing. That's like somebody's house burning down, and the only ones available there is the bucket brigade, and they're filling up buckets and going, and you coming in and going, no, we got to wait for the fire department to show up. Nah, you get that bucket brigade going. No, you can't do this. You can't use this bucket. Yeah, you can. No, it's Donna. I was using. Oh, okay. Okay, Donna. Yeah, Donna. See, there you go. No, I get it. That makes more sense. I told you, next time you're coming on a weird name, you got to let me know. Donna. Damn it. Right. And I say, by all means, reallocate the money. but there's a process. See, Donna, people didn't even know it was you. And I got excited. I'm like, oh, I don't remember that name. Somebody else joining in. Yeah, so I covered all the stuff. Oh, I'll say it again because y'all know me. I make my predictions. If I'm wrong, which doesn't happen often, I'll admit I'm wrong. Now, I'm not admitting I'm wrong, but I'm just saying that things on the ground had changed. I think it was Ken. Ken and I were talking, and he said, oh, Trump won Michigan. Well, okay, no, actually Biden won Michigan, but we'll let that one go. And I said, because of the changing demographics in Michigan, that I predicted that Kamala would take Michigan. I didn't think it was going to be by a lot. But I thought that Michigan would still go to Kamala. Well, as it stands right now, a lot of her jihadi support is they're not happy with her, and they might not vote for her because she is not sufficiently anti-Israel. So right now, Michigan could be a coin toss. So and I posted about it today. Like, yeah, I'd predicted that it would go to Kamala, but it's not. How you go? Kamala? How do you like that? Kamala? Oh my goodness, that's racist. You mispronounced her name. It's like, yeah, bitch, you haven't been to any of my shows. I fuck up everybody's name. I could that one night doing Florida towns. I couldn't get a damn town name right. Oh, goodness gracious. So yeah, Michigan's in play. So still go. I'm not going to admit that I'm wrong because I'm not yet. We won't know until the election. But it's getting close. It's getting close. And then everybody, oh, they say Kamala's ahead by 3 points. It's like, yeah, you got to understand that most of the polls have a margin of error of 7. I don't think there's a single poll out there that isn't for Trump or Harris that's beyond margin of error. It's tight, according to polls. I think the polls are wrong. I think the polls are biased towards Harris. And Trump has been known to be an underachiever in the polls and an overachiever in actual votes. So there's that. Donna, damn you. DJ, my goodness, DJ Tanner. Peggy says, who was it that said, I don't care how you pronounce my name as long as you remember it? I don't know, but there's people like, there's a musician that everybody, they call him, Beckman Turner, Overdrive. Bachman Turner. One is right, Beckman and Bachman. What do they usually say? Beckman. I think they call him Beckman Turner. Bachman Turner. But whatever, one of them's wrong. And he's like, I don't care. So, call me what you want. DJ says, you guys are special. My brother doesn't know this pseudo. She's a spy. That Donna, she's a spy. She wasn't just hiding in the bushes. She put on an outfit. She's a ninja. Donna the ninja. Yeah, ninjas didn't walk around with black suits and didn't have all those things. Nah, they were just spies. Oh. That's the same way as oh, what's the God, it was the Samurai Code of Honor. What's that called? Bushido? No. Yeah. No, what is it? Is it Bushido? the samurai code of honor and all that other crap. Do you know during the Warring States period it didn't exist? That shit only happened after the warring had stopped, and they wanted to, they became oh yes, if you lost a battle, then you had to kill yourself. No, that's not happened. When everybody was battling, that's not what they did. Because you'd only have one battle. You wouldn't have a Warring States if everybody who lost a battle killed each other. They killed themselves. It's like, no. That's not Bushido. What the heck is that? The Samurai Code of Honor. Let's see here. Yeah, Bushido. I was right. It was Bushido. Samurai. I was right. I'm tired. Yeah, didn't exist in the Warring States period. It's like, no, it couldn't have. And then people were trading sides and stuff. It's typical stuff. It was after everything settled down, then they elevated the status of a samurai because they really didn't have much of a job anymore. And they came up with the Bushido Code and all this other stuff. And then these etiquettes and mythos surrounding it that wasn't there before. Wasn't. Again, can you imagine that? Two warring factions get together and one wins and one loses, and the losers just killed each other, killed themselves? No, it doesn't work like that. I say, what did ninjas look like? They look like you. Well, not you, because you're a gaijin. But they look like everybody else. They were fishermen, they were politicians, they were servants, they were just working class and in the elite. They were just spies. The art of espionage. All that shit. Karate Magazine. There's Donna. Karate Magazine started most of that bullshit. Oh, this is a ninjutsu and this and that, and this is a authentic ninja uniform, and it's like, no. And now we've got ninjutsu practitioners. I'm not saying that ninjutsu is not an effective fighting technique. Sure, it is. There's a lot of them out there. But to think that the original ninjas did that, no, there's no literature whatsoever that they did that hogwash. None. They knew what was the common practice of the day. Donna. But yeah. Just like the Wild West. The Wild West wasn't as wild as people said it was. Thinks it was. It wasn't. It just wasn't. Oh, it was rough and lawless, but most of the myths are that myths. All of the famous gunfighters that you know were not the biggest killers. You don't know the names of the biggest killers. They're documented. I remember my grandfather had a book. It was the real gunslingers of the West or something like that. And it had their pictures and their names and what they actually did. And most of the famous ones killed Nat. Some didn't kill any. They've just got into gunfights and they were fancy. And yeah, is what it is. Yeah, it's like holsters. Most cowboys didn't have a holster. Some did, most didn't. They just tucked it in their sash. And, like police. Police, they almost never had holsters. Most of them had small guns if they had a gun. They just put it in their pocket. See the movies and the shows, and they got all the dancing girls in the saloons and stuff. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You had theaters and stuff like that in the big towns. But saloons, generally, no women allowed in saloons. Donna says, I guess if they weren't written about, you wouldn't know. Right. The dime store novels were the big takeoffs for the gunslingers that we know. But looking back at archives, like I said, the real killers, they're known. They just weren't immortalized. They didn't make it into the novels. But yeah, women, they didn't go in saloons. No, it's where men went. It's where men went. Yep. I tell you, whiskey's a lot better now than it was back then, too. Been a lot of documentation on that because they had no standards back then. Whiskey Act changed all that. Judy says, I'm going to do a line of candles of Outlaws. It's still in the idea stage, but I'm really excited about it. Oh, good. Good. Make sure you throw in some obscure ones. Dig deep. Dig deep to the ones that most people don't know. Throw in at least a couple of those. It's good. You still didn't post up any pictures or candles. You didn't do it. We made it 1 hour. I'm alive. I thought I was going to tussle with a new viewer, and it wasn't. It was just Donna tussling with someone that was. She's always here. Oh my goodness! Hey Gus, how was your ride home? Gus was going to come home on Sunday, but man, traffic was absolutely horrible. Because we're right in the heart of leaf peeping season. So he's like, I'm going to wait another day. And he waited another day. Didn't get up there. Next year, we got to get up there. The problem is weekends are about our only free things unless the missus takes a day off. And then our weekends are full. And it's Sunday, I got the show. And then Saturday is when the kids come over for dinner. So it's like, it's kind of a tight fit going on up. We'll figure it out. Judy says, okay, I will do that. Outlaws, make a whiskey cowboy candle. He's an outlaw. I'd have been an outlaw in some ways. I'm a law and order guy, but I'm also a Second Amendment guy. I go into town and they say you can't carry in town. It's like, fucking watch me. It was unconstitutional to make sure that people couldn't carry in town. Made their job easier, yes. Here's another myth. Tombstone was actually a much bigger town than what you see in the movies. It was big. It was big. They allude to it in the movie, but they don't really show it. They're like saying, "Oh, we're a metropolitan," but they showed a classic Western town. No, it was bigger than that. It was bigger than what you saw in the movies. It was bustling. Silver mine was a big thing, but okay, what else we got going on here? Oh, Gus says came home Monday, ran into some rain at the Notch. That was about it. Not much traffic. Yeah, rain's fine. Traffic was not. Well, good. Good. The Roundup. The Roundup. We talked about on the last show. Didn't have a name. It's just a whiskey cowboy gathering. The Roundup. Judy says, I would love to make a whiskey cowboy candle, but I can't send it to you. So there's that. You can set it aside and we'll figure something out. You don't have to do that, though. But yeah, I figured the Roundup would be a better name. A Roundup. We talked about it. I'd mentioned it online. Somebody had asked about, hey, where are you? She's like, where are you from? Where do I hail from? You know, and I mentioned New Hampshire and stuff. And she's from outside of Philly. See, that's drivable. And I'd mentioned that we might, there's enough folks on the East Coast at least to be able to, a bunch of them driving distance. We might be able to have a get together. So I figured we call it the Roundup. And what do you think of that? Then we'll have to figure things out. You'd have to count the numbers and figure things out sometime in the spring. But then to give folks a couple months to figure stuff out. Laurel says, sounds good. Yeah, it's less pretentious than the Whiskey Cowboy Gathering. It is. It's a roundup. It's a roundup. And a lot can change between now and then. But yeah, I know people are going to have to make plans, and I ain't got money coming out the ass. Wish I did. Wish I did. Oh, goodness. Speaking of that, folks would like to donate to the show and all my content. There's a link inside the name. I was reading that. Judy says, sounds like the perfect name. So I got name in there. Stop it. Let me get it out there first there, Judy. There's a link in the description of the show. You can make a single donation or you can make a monthly donation. So there we go. That's out of the way. But yeah, the roundup. Sounds right. Sounds right. That's what they call the get-togethers anyways, right? Don't they have the, I think that's what they call the one up in Canada, Calgary Roundup too? I think they had Calgary Roundup. Yep. So I got to figure out a place big enough that's going to hold everybody. I like Alton Bay. It's big enough, but the problem is man, the parking could get filled up pretty quick. But love that place. Me and the missus love to go there. Alton Bay. We find ourselves on the underneath a shade tree. And watch the boats. Wolfboro's good. You got parking and you can go there, and you've got plenty of room in the actual park. But there's not enough parking by the actual bay in Wolfboro. There tends to be a lot of people there too. A lot busier. Wolfboro, New Hampshire, is the nation's oldest resort town. For those who didn't know. I was looking at ranches again. I've been doing that for the last couple days. Yes, I know. I've been doing that and putting out the content. Here you go. Can you imagine? I put out like 20 bits of content today, all day, and interacted with people. Do you know how much time it takes to do all that? It's just, holy crap. But whatever. I'm looking for ranches again. And I was checking out towns. Whenever I find a ranch, I was looking at some in Idaho, too. Idaho is nice. There's a lot of places. But it's high desert. It's high desert, a lot of it. So it's a bit colder and less hospitable. But whatever. Wherever the town is, I'll go and I'll research the town, research the climate, research the politics, research the crime rates, research taxes and other issues. You know me. You know me. Well, I go through and it's like they look like old western towns. And it's like, yes, and it was surveyed and the town came to be in 1927. It's like 1927. Well, shit, that's a new town. See, here on the East Coast, that's the old towns. You go out west and people are like, this is old country. No, that's the new country. Now, people have been over here, living here in the East Coast, especially in the New England area, since 1500s. Yeah. It looks newer because shit's been updated. Stuff out there, not so much. Not so much, but it's new towns out there. It's like, oh, the Rockies, they're nice and tall and peak. Yeah, because they're young. They're young, they're old. No, they're young. Everything on the East Coast, the glacier came through and wore all the mountains down. That's why we've got rocks everywhere. Tell people that. It's true. That's why there's rocks everywhere. The glacier just ripped the mountains apart and just scattered them all over everything. And the mountains are round. Lower. They're older. The glaciers took that out. It didn't go through the Rockies. So everything's flipped the opposite what you think it is. But That's that. What else we got? What else we got going on? What else we got going on? Gus says that Sally would definitely be winning the belly up in the coffee cowboy competition. I drink a lot of coffee. We'll go, how about this? Not only have to deal with the caffeine, but you can't pee. Us guys got bigger bladders. We got a biological advantage there. But yeah, coffee's good. Coffee's good. So somebody else throw something out. Oh, I posted up. Y'all remember this is that little cup of ice cream with a wooden spoon. Said, do y'all remember what this tastes like? Wood. That's right, wood. Because it doesn't matter what it was, it tastes like wood. Somebody said it froze solid, and then it would just the spoon would break off. And every single one that I ever had was like mushy, melty. It wasn't solid. So I guess I got it too late. But yeah, all you could taste is that wooden spoon. That wooden spoon. Oh, 3D chess. That shit just annoys the hell out of me. Peggy says we loved it. No, I wasn't so. I mean, it was fine. I think the last time I ate one of those when I was real small, probably a kid or something. I don't know. They've been around a long time. No, this whole 5D chess. It's like, no, most of the people that are assigning people to 5D chess, they're pigeons. You don't understand what they're doing because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. There's no fifth dimensions, and they're just a bunch of pigeons moving the shit around. But everybody thinks that. You're just no. If it doesn't make sense, it probably more times than not it's just stupid move. I'm getting all stuffy. I've been getting stuffy. What else we got? Tim Walz, what a dipshit. Him saying that that voters really don't care that he doesn't say the truth. And he's right for the most part. But the left is just they're so cute, so secure in tribalism that they just come right out and say shit. Oh, man. And of course he wants to get rid of the Electoral College. Yeah, so he doesn't have to visit swing states. So he doesn't have to visit the flyover states. He doesn't need to do that. He just needs to go to the cities. That's all he needs to go to. But we have an Electoral College for a reason. And as others pointed out, and I've said this for quite a long time, we need that same system within states so that the cities do not, by virtue of just population, dictate everything that goes on in the state and turn it Democrat. You need a smaller version of the Electoral College within each state. Not too many people watching today. By golly. Yeah, weeding. Haven't had to weed too many people out since this. I've only gotten rid of like maybe 2 or 3 people that were followers. So I'll do that. 2 or 3 people and gain 1,000. That's good. Good odds. Laurel says, yes, we do. We have a jackass as our governor. Yeah. Well, part of the problem is if you enforce the Constitution and state constitutions, which damn near mirror the federal now, most of these problems go away. It wouldn't matter who you have in any position. That was the beauty of setting up our government the way it was. But from the moment it was, people started to try to erode it. Knowing when to yield and when not to in life is the key to avoiding many problems. Yes, indeed. It's like do it or don't do it. Indecision will get you killed quicker than doing something. Do it or don't do it. Decide. But most people are hesitant. The vast majority of people hesitate. It's like I say, too, it's not always the strongest and the smartest that wins. It's the one that acts. Criminals aren't most of them aren't very bright, but they act. Most people freeze. But on another situation, the yielding, I wasn't really talking about that. It's basically time and place. When John says stop, stop. It's easy. Stop. Stop it. Stop. Stop. In the name of love. I know I'm a meanie. I'm a meanie. I'm just a cantankerous, mean man. I'm a mean, mad white man. Oh, man, Dyson is such a jackass. I swear to God. And he doubled down. He doubled down against that senator or congresswoman, whatever the hell she was. He went on The View and talked shit about all white women. He doubling, tripling down. Straight and Christian. I am a male heterosexual Christian. Male. I said started with male, didn't I? Male, heterosexual. Male, heterosexual Christian. I say male again. I can. I deserve two of them. I'm big enough. John's double the male. Oh, goodness. Did I say I was tired? That's one of the great things about this show is it's late at night and I'm tired. Oh, goodness. Well, hey, if I'm male twice, you can call me they, them. Boy, that sparked it. Boy, you know what? It was over 100-1 in favor of my article on pronouns. The most common thing said is insults to me, name calling. Tell me I'm stupid and I don't know linguistics. It's like if you think that John doesn't know linguistics, you're an idiot. I know linguistics. If you think John doesn't know the history of they them has been used for singular since the time of Shakespeare. Yes, it has. That wasn't my point. Since the time of Shakespeare, they them, and that's not even what the whole I was talking about much more than they them. I just happened to mention they them in addition. Yeah, Laurel says everyone is so tired of their bullshit. Yes, they are. They, them has always been an odd linguistic term of phrase. It's never been a standard. They, them has never been a standard for a singular. It is correct under unique situations. Unique, not standard, not generic. They went to the store. Could be used. It's correct. It's an odd linguistic term of phrase. They, as a generic, you don't know who they are. They broke into my house, and there's only one of them. Yeah, because you don't know. Could have been a he, could have been a she, doesn't matter. They broke into my house. They broke into my car. Yes. But it's never been used up until 5 seconds ago, less than 5 seconds ago historically, as a default for a singular. Peggy says name calling and insults are what the mentality. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I didn't interact with any of them. I just cleared them out. And when I saw them attacking other members, I cleared them out. Not having it. Oh, there goes John censoring people again. Yes, I did. And I will continue to do so. You don't like the way I... Look, without some sort of moderation, it becomes a giant shit show. And most of the people who follow my content don't want to deal with that crap. See what I did there? So yeah, if you don't like the way I moderate, I think I'm pretty damn fair in my moderation. And it's not simply based on disagreement. It's based on action. It's based on whether they're civil. So yeah, all these people, oh, you don't know what you're talking about and blah, blah, blah. And then here's another thing. I can't tell you the number of, I'm trying to paraphrase here because they were all the same. That's a lot of words to say, and then they straw man. That I'm, one person says that I'm childish. Another person said that I'm a boomer that can't adapt. It's like, am I childish or am I too old? I'm an old geezer. Right? Another one, old geezer that can't. And then assigning phobias and hatred on me. It's like, if you read what I wrote, I wasn't derogatory or insulting about any of it. I was talking about the linguistic games. And Zer, there's how many, look, pronouns are linked to gender, yes. But then they think that because they're linked to gender, and there's 50 billion genders now, which they're not, there's 2. Oh, but there's some people that are interested. Those are anomalies. I've said this before too. People with Down syndrome exist. They're an anomaly. It is an error. It's a defect. Intersex people's the same way. And there's a couple different types, at least 2 or 3 different types of genetic abnormalities which will manifest themselves in some weird genetic mix match. Yeah. But people are born without 2 arms and 2 legs too. But humans have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 nostrils, 2 ears. You see how it works? 5 fingers on each hand, 5 toes on each feet. Oh, well, I've seen this. Yes, they're anomalies. We don't change the description of what the human species is because there is a genetic anomaly. It's not how it works. So that goes to back what I was saying. It's about control. They can't even keep track of their own shit. You ever talk to people that use their pronouns like that? They can't even get the shit straight. They can't get their genders and pronouns straight. They got to write that shit down. Yeah. Oh, you can't adapt. You can't adapt. You can't adapt to your own shit because that's all it is to put everybody on Jello, so that then they can make any claims that they want and have victim status and stuff like that. It's bullying. It's manipulation, and I'm not having it. And more the people are not having it. I warned people 20 years ago, this needs to stop. It's going to get out of hand. Oh, what does it hurt? What does it matter to you? And then I get these, oh, so you're the pronoun police. You're going to say what people can use and can't use. It's like, no, that's not it at all. You can use whatever the fuck you want to use. The problem isn't the fact that you're using stupid made-up shit. The problem is you're then trying to force everybody else to use that stupid made-up shit too. You can't turn it around on me. Oh, and it's like, oh, here's a guy and he's demanding people calling him a made-up name, and he's crying about pronouns. Don't call me the Whiskey Cowboy if you don't want to call me the Whiskey Cowboy. Call me John. It's just a fucking moniker. I'm not demanding people call me something. those who are using made-up genders and stupid pronouns, never in the history of mankind has anyone ever had to announce their pronouns. Never. My pronouns are he, him. Well, your name is John, so there's a good chance. John Smith, good chance, I get it, title, Mr., Mrs., Ms., I get it, that's fine. Whatever. Those are titles. Pronouns aren't titles. Pronouns aren't names. Oh, people can change their name and you don't have any problems calling them by their name. Yeah, right, because it's a name. It's a name. You can choose your name. You can't choose your pronoun the same way as you can't choose your adjective. You can have preferred. You can prefer to think of yourself as pretty. You can prefer to think yourself as smart. Doesn't mean you are. And you certainly can't force other people around you to use those adjectives. Gus says, so when did the definition of pronoun change? My dictionary from 1968 that I have doesn't have the same one as today. There's a lot of things that have changed over the years. Hell, within the past 5 years, the dictionaries have changed meanings of things. They've changed the meaning of racist. Because the leftists went and they just jumped in and they're in control of the shit. So, depends. I don't know. The words changing is depending upon the publisher and yeah. Judy says, good point. Yeah. I don't know what point was good, though. You're talking about Gus, or you're talking about things that I said? But yeah, pronouns aren't names. They're not names. Adjectives aren't. You can't choose that. You can prefer whatever the fuck you want. So again, people going, how you're not in control of pronouns. You're right, I'm not. And then I made a point that words change slowly over time, and they're not mandated by edict and other stuff. They just change naturally. The way this happened is unnatural. And then they're going, words change. It's like, I just got through fucking saying that. Words change. They take half of what I say, ignore the rest, and then straw man in on top of it to come up with their own arguing point. It's like, I didn't say that. I never said that. Why should you care? Judy says, what you said was on point. Yes, it was. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, why should you care? It's not hurting anybody. Oh, it isn't? People are losing their fucking jobs for not playing the pronoun game. It's not hurting anybody. People are getting ostracized because they're not playing the pronoun games. That's not hurting anybody. And then the whole thing, well, you should do what they ask. And if you're not, you're being an asshole. How the fuck does that work? I'm just minding my own business, going around my own life. Somebody says, hey, I want you to call me something that we both know is complete bullshit. And I go, no, thank you. You bigot, you? You're the wrong person. Whoa. Last I knew, anytime somebody asked me to do anything, I could politely say no. If not, you're not asking me. You're demanding, you're telling me. And I'm sorry, I'm the wrong man to pull that shit with. Not happening. Oh, but that makes me the bad guy? No, it doesn't. It makes you the bad guy. It makes you the asshole. You're making the demands. I'm not making any demands. You're demanding something of me. I'm not demanding a damn thing from you. Call yourself Giger, Zizer, they, them, shimmy, shanga, Cocoa Puff, fucking whatever. Don't care. I'm not playing. It doesn't mean I hate you. Doesn't mean I hate you. It means I'm not playing. If you have a problem with that, that's on you. Oh, you're denying my existence. No, you're there. I'm talking to you. I see you. But you know what? I've never demanded somebody affirm my existence. Affirm me. Can you please all affirm me? I need affirmation. Please, I need to be affirmed. Fuck that. Nobody who is secure in what they are needs anybody to affirm a damn thing. It's a power game. It's manipulation. They're going to make you do something. Sorry, that's on you. That means you're the problem. You're the asshole. You're playing the game. Not me. Not sane. And I warn people, you just ignore it. It ain't going away. Yes, you tell that to kids. We tell kids a lot of shit that isn't real just to get them through that part of their life. Ignore it and it'll go away. Never fucking happens. Ignore paying your mortgage for a while. See what happens. Ignore the speed limits. See what happens. Shit just doesn't go away when you ignore it. That mosquito that's bound determined to have himself some dinner, just ignore it. It'll go away. There's very little in life that if you ignore it, it'll go away. Yeah, kids maybe. You ignore a kid that's trying to be a pest and you ignore them, they get bored and they go off. Yeah, there's exceptions to the rule. But no, the rule is not ignored, it goes away. Need dishes done, just fucking ignore it. Donna says life is simpler when you plow around the stump. Yeah, but you still got the fucking stump there. So that's what the right did. They just kept plowing around it. But that stump ended up growing into trees. Saplings come out. They're like, whatever, we're not going to... Hey, it's not hurting me. What does it matter, same-sex people getting married? What does it matter? What does it matter, if they want to be called... if they want to be called they, them, call them they, them. Jesus Christ, you've got to remember. Oh, if it's too complicated to remember, yeah, if you maybe have 2 or 3 people in your life, you might be able to remember that this idiot over here is playing these pronoun games. You might be able to remember that, but you can't go through life. Everybody, and again, never in our lives have we ever walked down the street and somebody coming into casual conversation and they're going to go, my pronouns are whatever. They, him. Shim, zer. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even want to talk to you. Go away. That is so ludicrous. That's just like, can you imagine? Let's go back 50 years. Walking down the street and somebody coming up and saying, how you doing? I'm Bob. I am very smart and handsome. Well, that's the same as, hi, I'm Froggy Lips, and my pronouns are fishy they. What the fuck? Gus says, I wish someone would say that to me. Yeah, no shit. It's like, get out of here. Stop it. I'll let you do you. God, wouldn't it be great if like just goth came back again? Remember you had goth and punk and just God, I miss the goths. I miss the vamps. Oh, you're a vamp? Cool. Cool on you. Good job there. Wonderful. But you're still a dude, right? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. Man, it's almost like we've said this about shows before. Is a show you start watching it, season 1's pretty good. Season 2's, okay. Season 3, we're getting a little weird because we're grasping it. Season 4 is like, what the fuck is going on? Season 5 is like, holy shit, I can't watch this anymore. That's what society has become, because this shit started 20 years ago and not enough people stood up and said, I'm not playing this. What does it hurt people? Look at where we are. Remember when they said, what the hell? If transsexual people were such a small part of the population, which they are, what does it matter if they're in women's sports? There's only a few of them. Well, only those few of them are winning all of the awards. They're seriously injuring actual females. So, yeah, what does it hurt? Yes. You put one male in with a bunch of females and somebody's going to get screwed. No pun intended. And a lot of it's a grift anyways. Same way with that, what was the swimmer's name? What was the swimmer's name? Begin with a T? What's the swimmer's name? Come on, help me out, folks. Thomas. Leah Thomas. See, I knew there was a T in there. Leah Thomas. You know, Leah Thomas was still... Yeah, Thompson. Leah Thompson. One of those. Leah T. Leah. You know, Leah was still fucking girls. You know, when he was a gal. Yeah. I guess he was none too particular. He was shacking up with his guy feller too, but he was still having sex with girls. Like, he had a girlfriend. Gus says, I already forgot. That's how, yeah. As I say, all the people that give me shit online, it's like, you know I'm not going to remember your name. You're going to remember mine a hell of a lot longer than I remember yours. Yeah. But yeah, it's most of the guys that are in it, they're gynecomastia, I think is what it is. Gynophilic. Yeah, it's guys that get off thinking that they're girls or pretending that they're girls. And there's a female version of that, but it's less common. Excuse me, Peggy says he also got stripped of his awards. Yeah. It's bullshit. And I had said from day one with that jackwagon, as well as all the other ones, if the gals had just said, no, I'm not going to do it. And I argue with people online about it. They're like, no, they're worried about their scholarships and stuff. Nah, if all of them stopped, there wouldn't be a problem with the scholarships. They're not going to pull their scholarship. They're going to go, we only got one swimmer in the pool and it's a dude. They'll go, hey, dude, you can't do this because you've ruined our sport. Women were just as much at fault as these dudes were. And I maintain that today, and I still say it. Well, of course, that's a different way of saying I maintain that today. But yeah. If they had just said, I'm not doing it. We've seen it done every now and again. We hear about it in the news. X team forfeits match. They're not going to play because the other team had a guy on it. Good on you. If everybody did that, this stupidity would have stopped. But no. Got to plow around the stump. Yeah. The Briar Patch. Isn't that where the rabbits lived? Plowed around it for a while, but doesn't he end up digging that up at some point? It's been a long time since I've read that book. It's Brer Rabbit. There was another one along those lines. It was different. It's Miss Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. That's a good book too. Man, I can only remember parts of it. Been a long time. Good books. So watching a podcast. I think it was I think Ben Shapiro was talking with some dude that analyzes fairy tales and modern stories and stuff like that. And they were pointing out, and I've said this for all the fairy tales, they've been watered down. They've taken all of the scary parts, the important parts out of them to make them palatable. And each generation, well, each group of generations gets stripped down even more and more and more. Nursery rhymes were horrible. Oh my God, the stories behind them. Rockabye Baby. These are not good. These are not good stories. The fairy tales had some darkness to them. Hell, Santa Claus had what the hell was his God, no, I can't think. Tell me, what's Santa Claus's altar dude? He'd come show up if you were bad. Was God, what the hell's his name? I can see it. I can see his is a demonic creature. Tell me so I don't have to Google it. What the hell was his name? What's Santa Claus's Bambi is not the same. Yeah, Bambi was a really sad story. Yeah. I was getting a kick out of that too. I said Bambi changed. Bambi was a boy, but now anybody with the name of Bambi is a girl. It's weird. But what's the bad spirit if you don't do good? You're a kid and you don't do good. He'll come and get you. What the hell's his name? Krampus. There we go. Thank you all for that bit of Krampus. Bad Santa. No, that's the movie. That's the movie. No, Krampus. Krampus. See, the whole thing of Krampus was then changed. He just leaves some coal and all this. And then soon nothing. There's nothing bad. Hell, the Snow White. That was a horrible story. Cinderella. That's a horrible story. Beauty and the Beast. That's a really horrible story. A lot darker than anything that we have now. Sorry, couldn't figure out the spelling. You can just type it phonetically. Krampus, yes. And there was reasons for that. People don't do good. Look, human nature, yes, by all means, reward good behavior. But when it comes right down to it, people don't really do good because they're rewarded. They don't do bad because they don't want bad things to happen to them. That's why I try to tell people about, the criminal justice system. Oh, we're going to rehabilitate these people and we're going to show them, look, if you're a member of society and you do good, you get good things. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. In society, yeah, you can stay in society, but if you're a bad person and you just want to take what you can take, yeah, the odds now are just take what you want. Because the punishment isn't a deterrent. No, punishments aren't going to stop all bad things. But look what happens when you remove that punishment. Holy Toledo. Krampus. You only need to bring Krampus back. Here's my Orca mug. Good mugs. Good mugs. I like this one. They got them with the handle, too. Now, I say things a lot. You'll go, man, John says it. Because I know that some people may come in later and they haven't heard it. So, Orca mugs. Now, the missus likes them with a handle. I like them without a handle, and both of ours doesn't have a handle. She was thinking about getting one with a handle. But it's a lot easier in Zippy and car holders if they don't have a handle on them. And the outside's never hot, so. Yeah. So, yeah. It's you get more people to do the right thing telling them, and I'm not dissuading, I'm not saying that religion is bunkus. But the truth is, you get more people in line telling them if they don't do good, they're gonna go to hell, than telling them that if they do good, they're gonna go to heaven. People go, oh, we're naturally good people. No. Naturally, people will do the bad thing. Well, no, even when they're just, no. It's because they've been raised in a Judeo-Christian society, and we have laws, and that's instilled in us. It's ingrained within us, so we know. We know. You take people and you remove them from that, you'll find out they do some pretty fucked up shit. People are pretty open about it too. If they don't watch people, if they don't think anybody's watching, they think they can get away with something, they'll do it. It's like say, I hate a fucking thief. You should be able to leave $100 out on a park bench, walk away, come back an hour later, and that $100 there. Because everybody should know it ain't mine, so I ain't going to fucking touch it. That's my philosophy. Is that bike yours? No, leave it alone. Is that car yours? No, leave it alone. You don't need to know who it belongs to. Leave it alone. Now, if you're out in the middle of the woods, and you stumble across something, and there's nobody around, well, that's a different story. That's a different story. There's always exceptions to the rules, but generally, if you know it's where people are traveling and stuff, leave it alone. I'll even do it if I'm out walking on a trail and I find something. Oh, it's okay. What I'll do is I usually pick it up and I move it a little bit closer to the, either to the side of the trail or up, hang it on a branch so that whoever's missing it, they might go, oh shit, I dropped it, and they came back and they got it. Now, if I'm out tromping and there's no path, I just climbed up and then, and there's something there. Well, gee, I guess this is fine. But yeah, generally, if it's not yours. Says that's not true. You need to look up. What? I don't get it. You lost me there, Gus. I need to look up. Help me out, Gus. Did anybody else get what he was meaning? I did. Somebody help me. Said that's not true. What wasn't true? I need to look up. If I got to look up, Gus, if I'm walking with you and I have to look up, you ain't ever seeing it. Gus is like, damn, that wasn't very nice. No, but really, no, what are you talking about, Gus? That's like me hugging the missus. If I just stand up straight and I hug her, her head's right here. Gus says, I have found pack on the ground. Then I looked up and the guy was sitting in a tree. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I always look around when I find something, but yeah, that's true. Laurel says, if you hang it up, most of us would be looking at the ground and not that high. No, when I just hang it, about chest high, so that's fine. Peggy says, criminals are not aware or afraid of consequences. Today's criminal justice system, yeah, they're taught that they can just do whatever they want. Being a criminal to a criminal, even if they go to jail, isn't a detriment like it used to be. So what? I never planned on joining society again anyways. I bet you didn't look up. When I find something? Well, I'll be honest with you, Gus. I probably didn't. You want to know why? Because I have peripheral vision, and long before I came to that object, I could see around. I don't walk just staring at the ground. That's what gets me. Movies and stuff. They got a ninja in black stuck to the ceiling that's white, and the people walk into the room and they don't notice the ninja on the ceiling. Are you kidding me? I notice if there's a fly on the ceiling. Why? Because it's just a speck on the white ceiling. We have peripheral vision. It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, you didn't see him? You didn't see him standing there. Stop it. It always gets me. Are you kidding me? You have to purposefully not be looking for somebody that's hanging from the rafters above you in the ceiling. Are you kidding me? Judy says he's already up there. Yeah. He never said a word. He was just staring at me. I never saw him. Well, that's on you, Gus. But that goes to the effect, too, that everybody thinks you need camo and stuff to disappear in the forest. You don't. I can go out in blue jeans and even an orange shirt, and I'll disappear. Just find some place to hunker down and stop moving. We're trained to notice movement. We're a visual species. But yeah, no, that's good, Gus. Did you give him his backpack? See, that was Gus's shortfall, and that was a rare exception. It was a rare exception. Don't judge things by the exceptions there, Guster. That's not right. He goes, I have to, John. I got to stir the pot. Oh, I waved and walked off. Yeah, I'd probably, if it was in my case, I'd probably I'd give him a thumbs up and off I go. Give a guy a thumbs up today. Had to go to the store. Had to pick something up. The guy's pushing his car. We had just pulled in, and I backed into the parking spot. And the Mrs. is like, he's pushing his car. Like, yeah, he's pushing his car. Huh. Oh, let's see what's up, maybe. And he jumped in, and yeah, he popping the clutch. He's trying to get it started again. Something you can't do with an automatic, at least not very well. I'm like, oh, I know what he's doing. So he was about getting ready to get out of his car. He was about ready, and car had stopped. He was going to get out. So like, I get you going. So I got behind his car, and I gave him a good push, gave him some run. And John was giving it a go. And then he popped his clutch. Pop, 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 pop. And he's like, thank you. It's like, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, get that piece of shit home. I didn't say that. And I went into the store, and I got back. I came back out. Mrs. is like, oh, you're such a good guy. I said, well, anybody should have done that. Anybody. Just, you see him that needs help, give him help. Ain't a hero or anything. Just what I do. What I do. Get her done. Gus says, I have had many walk under me when I was in a tree stand and never even knew I was there. Kind of funny. Yeah, it is. A lot of people are oblivious. They're oblivious. I am always attentive. I am always attentive. I'm always looking. I even notice tree stands when it's not even hunting season. Oh, yeah, look at that tree stand up there. Yeah, it's a good hunting spot. I am attentive. I'm not like the rest, Gus. I'm not like the normal folk out there. And Gus is like, yeah, no shit. John ain't normal. Stop it. Yeah, looking at ranches again. Come fall, a lot of them drop off the market. I had a dream ranch. It was a burnt hollow ranch. It was a nice ranch. And that sold this summer. Fuckers. Oh. And I look at weather. It's like, it's got to be the right weather. And I end up coming back. Yeah, let's look for property in New Hampshire. I don't mind the cold, but when all year is, the missus doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. And while it's absolutely beautiful in the central, what's it called, the The Great Divide. It's beautiful, but the elevation's so high that the weather is cool all year. Doesn't bother me. I like wind. I don't like wind, which would block me from like Wyoming. Wyoming's got some nice areas, but windy. I don't like the wind. So look for what's the wind, what's the yearly temperature. Bitterroot Valley in Montana. That's good, but it's getting kind of built up, and there's always Florida. Fuck that. No. Louisiana, Florida, probably not Georgia, Alabama. And there's some places on there it's okay, but very humid. Like drier heat. Texas would be a consideration. Oklahoma, again, would be a consideration. But man, some areas in Idaho and Montana. Oh. I favor Montana more than Idaho, though. And I always look for the weather. The missus doesn't want really cold. It's like, fuck. Colorado has some awesome, oh my goodness. The, begins with a P. See here. Pagosa Springs. Pagosa Springs. Colorado. Absolutely beautiful. Oh. A lot of snow, though. The higher elevations, Pagosa Springs. And I don't like their politics and their laws. So I'd never been able, I just can't. I could never settle down in Colorado. Just can't do it. I won't move to a state that's going to violate my rights. Can't do it. It's not in my nature. Oregon has some beautiful, absolutely wonderful areas as well. But their laws and their politics are not to my liking. So I can't do it. Yep. Pagosa Spring, Colorado. Colorado's got a lot of beautiful areas. Oh, goodness gracious. Steely Mountain Ranch, that's another nice one. Oh, beautiful ranch. Some of the ranches that tick all my boxes are from Colorado. But I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like, well, John, you ain't got the money for it anyways. You're right, but I can dream and make plans. So, plus I like looking things up and researching. Yep. Gus is like, no, you can't go. I need my freaking eggs. you can't take the chickens with you because I need the eggs. It's like, Gus, you can have chickens. Gus, like, I don't want to mess with chickens. It's like the in-laws too. Like our eggs, but yeah. I'm going to make some framework on the chicken run here shortly before the windy season hits in. I'm going to take some like 2x1s sheathing and do framework, and then put that over the top of the run, and then come in from the underside and staple the hell out of it. We've got the tarps, staple the hell out of the tarps on the underside, and then lash that down to the framework so the wind can't take the damn tarps again. Gus says, no more chickens. They came and got that. They got that building. They got the chicken coop out there yet, Gus? They take that? Peggy says I have to go now. Good night, all. Thank you, John. You're welcome, Peggy. Thank you for joining the show. Oh, shit, it's 10 o'clock already. Yeah. See, Wayne didn't show up. Wayne should have showed up about 15 minutes ago and just got things wound up. Says, yep, it's gone. Good. Good. It was still there the last time I went there, right? Not including this very last time. The last time I was there and we talked, I think it was still there. This last time you had that family gathering. Donna says, night all. We'll help you get your Z's. Good night, Donna. Thank you for joining the show. But yeah, I try to keep the page going in the same feel that it was before. Man, 1,000 in this short days is a lot of newcomers. So a little bit of growing pains and people settling in. Most of them are doing all right. They're doing all right. Yipper. Well, was there anything else that anybody want to get out there before I close it down? And I can shut things down and climb into bed and see what those crazy Vikings are doing again. Says, no, it's been gone for about 4 months. Oh, it wasn't there. Well, what was there? You had another building there, right then? Yeah, that's right. But you had another building you wanted gone, right? The coop was gone, but you had another shack, another shed. Pretty sure. So that might have been what I was getting mixed up in my head. But yeah, I'm going to build an exoskeleton and staple the tarp so it's not going to go, and then get that fixed to the ground and everything. Laurel says, good night. I hope you all have a good night. Well, you too, Laurel. Thank you for joining the show. You had me worried. It's like, I didn't think she was on the road. And Gus said, yes, there was another. Yeah, see, there we go. I wasn't totally off base. I was just a different thing. Judy says, good night, y'all. Good night, Judy. Judy, Donna, Peggy, Gus. Did I miss anybody? Judy, Donna, Peggy, Gus. Well, there's 4, and there's only 4 left. There's only 4 left according to my thing. So that's all for you. I'll be up bright and early. We'll see about getting some more content out there. Was going to make some more prime rib tonight for dinner. We weren't up for it, so we'll do it tomorrow night. Gus says, good night, everyone. Have a great rest of the week. You too, Mr. Gustus. I have a feeling I'll end up bumping into you at least online before that's up anyways. Next show is Sunday evening. Be there, be square. But I'll see you online. I'm going to close this down. Thanks for joining the show. God bless, and take care.